The Fredericksburg RV Show is January 3rd through 5th at the Fredericksburg Convention Center. Multiple dealers, the best selection, the best prices, even on-site financing, all in one convenient location. RVs for all budgets, travel trailers, toy haulers, fifth wheels, motorhomes. The options are endless. Start creating your own adventures and enjoy the freedom RVs afford you. It's all at the Fredericksburg RV Show, January 3rd through 5th at the Fredericksburg Convention Center. Discounts and details at fbergrvshow.com.
And our next guest, well, I'm torn because Erika Donalds is the wife of Congressman Byron Donalds, and I don't want to just identify her that way. But at the same time, I'll be honest, Mercy and Erika, if I were married to Byron Donalds, I'd be pretty proud of that. I'd be leading with that.
I always joke that it is my favorite title, wife of Byron Donalds, and then all the other titles.
That said, she's also guest faculty at the Leadership Institute's School Board programs, which is such an important program that I want to talk to you about. We've been talking about school boards here on this program before it was cool, okay? And certainly we shined the spotlight on what was going on in Loudoun County that ended up being international news. You're also CEO of Optima Ed. You are an education expert, and a lot of people, you know, you love the idea of doing away with the Department of Education. We've seen the stats. We've seen the numbers in terms of the costs and the actual results. Forming the Department of Education and whatever was done with the Department of Education has actually made education worse in this country. But people are still worried, Erika Donalds, about what our education system looks like if Donald Trump does what he promised to do, which is end that Department of Education. So have we thought this through, and what exactly does that look like? Why should people not be scared or concerned?
Well, and thanks so much for having me on this morning on this beautiful Christmas Eve, and Merry Christmas to both of you.
Thank you.
But we need to definitely, I'm glad you're talking about this because we need to get the message out to people that the Department of Education doesn't educate anyone. It is a bureaucratic department that puts politics over people and students. It was created to enhance student achievement in our country, but since its creation under Jimmy Carter has done nothing of the sort but add compliance and bureaucracy, take money out of our classrooms, and really the student performance has gone down since the creation of the Department of Education. It's a lot of moving money around, and that money does not reach the students that it is intended to help. Getting rid of the Department of Education, especially in the way that President Trump has been talking about, block granting money to the states, telling the states you have to use this money, parent-directed, towards the students, low income and special needs, that it is intended to help. This is actually going to put that money in the hands of parents who are the ones who should be making these decisions about their children anyway.
Well, the title I'd like to add to Erika Donalds is First Lady of Florida. That'd be my title that I'd like to add to that, Larry.
Wow, we're moving rapidly here.
Yeah, we're just going to move fast, okay? There is no time to waste. But Erika, obviously, we love both of them, Byron and Erika and their incredible family. But talking about the Department of Education, you know, obviously, it will be, you would need Congress's approval to actually even try to eliminate the Department of Education. It would take 60 votes. So it is about more, I think it's more about dismantling the Department of Education. What would be your advice to incoming Secretary of Education, Linda McMahon, on what the priorities need to be? We talked about sending the money to the states, but in addition to that, what should be the focus in terms of strengthening our curriculums and getting rid of indoctrinating the woke agenda and the indoctrination of our children?
Well, the very first thing, we just saw news break last week that the Department of Education had spent $1 billion on grants related to DEI projects.
Oh,
I mean,
$1 billion.
Astronomical pricing on some of these things, too. A 3-week camp, $4 million for just some high school students. So the first thing we need to do is get rid of all of that bloat and fat in the department that's being spent on things that are not enhancing student achievement. Yeah. And that's very easy to do. Much of that can be done through executive orders. The president creates all of these centers, many of them around DEI initiatives. Those can go right away, day one, and I expect that our president, Donald J. Trump, will be doing just that. He, of course, has also promised to strengthen Title IX and stand by that there are only 2 genders, protect women's sports. He can also do that through executive order. We can end the schemes that are student loan forgiveness schemes the taxpayers of America should not be paying for. Again, that's something that President Biden did unconstitutionally, I might add, right, through executive order. So these are all things that Linda McMahon our incoming secretary, the best person for the job, in my opinion, based on her executive experience, can do right away without having to go to Congress. And you're right. It's a restructuring. It's a dismantling. I have to tell you, this is so interesting. Secretary Cardona did a memo about the shutdown last year when there was a threat of a shutdown. Out of the 4,166 employees in the department, he himself said that only 336 were performing duties that were authorized or implied by Congress.
Jeez.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Afford Anything talks about how to avoid common pitfalls, how to refine your mental models, and how to think about how to think.
Selena Gomez is a billionaire thanks largely to her entrepreneurial endeavors. Your W-2 paycheck, whether big or small, can never generate the level of wealth that can be achieved by owning assets.
Make smarter choices and build a better life.
Afford Anything, wherever you listen.
Fall is the perfect time to cozy up with a hot drink and enjoy the season. And now with the Northwest Federal Credit Union credit card, you can make the most of this time of year. Earn double points on everything you purchase with your NWFCU credit card. Every swipe gets you closer to your next reward. Don't miss this exclusive offer. Visit your nearest NWFCU branch or apply online at nwfcu.org. Northwest Federal Credit Union, official credit union of the Washington Commanders. Terms and conditions apply.
Erika Donalds
Talk
is our
about
guest. CEO of Optima Ed and education expert. Mercedes gratuitously has just put you in line to be the first lady of Florida.
No, just get it right, Larry. It's First Lady of Florida.
I understand. Well, I don't understand why she can't be
sure
governor in her own right. But that said, there are a lot of solutions already coming at the state level. That's the beauty of how our nation is set up. Can you give us some insight as to how things are operating right now in Florida, where Governor DeSantis instituted a very aggressive school choice program that a lot of other states are eyeing, and how this could be a model going forward if, in fact, we move this money out of the bureaucracy, actually put money in the hands of the states where it belongs, and actually much more directly into the hands of the parents to direct their children's education. What's working in Florida right now that other states could replicate?
Yeah, you're absolutely right that Florida is the school choice state. We are the model state that other states try to follow and replicate, not just from Governor DeSantis' time in office, but all the way back to Governor Jeb Bush, who started school choice in Florida with charter schools and with the first voucher program in the state. So we've been building this for 25 years. Now, thanks to Governor DeSantis, we have universal education scholarship accounts. Every single parent in Florida can take advantage of a scholarship for the amount that would otherwise go to their public schools, about $8,000 to $9,000. And they can spend that on private school tuition, on tutoring, on services, on a customized education for their child. We want to see that across the board in every state in the country. Every single parent deserves that right. But in Florida, we are definitely setting the standard, and we've got about 500,000 students that have applied for those scholarships this year.
Erika Donalds, we got to leave it there. I got to say, though, we always love having your husband on. He's a great interview, but you're giving him a run for his money, so don't be a stranger.
100%.
As this issue continues to develop this year and policies are sort of reoriented and reset, you're going to be an important voice in this. And I'm also told by the very nasty people who follow me on social media that apparently that idea that if I were married to Byron Donalds that I floated earlier, apparently that's not going to happen. He's not my type in any way whatsoever. I'm not his type.
You're not a furry, and you're not marrying Byron Donalds. That's what we've learned this
Meredith would raise
right
some
now.
objections, and I dare I say, so would Erika. Otherwise, if it weren't for these two women in our lives, Byron and I would be very happy together.
Oh my Lord! Oh my. Okay,
I would
Erika.
love to come back and talk about education anytime.
And only education.
Husband.
We're not talking about Larry's love life, and don't worry, Byron is safe.
And happy birthday, Jesus. Thank you, Erika. Great talking with you.
Amen.
It's 7:45.
Help!
Ahoy there!
I'm stuck in this crevasse!
Well, I'm here to save you!
Thank you!
Up to 89% on the cost of your shipping with pirateship.com!
Come again!
Should I take this package?
Where are you going?
To save you up to 89%! Pirateship.com will save you money on shipping. Savings vary depending on weight, dimension, season, and destination of the package.